guys, it's Kim here and welcome to another language special. I'm joined by an incredibly special guest, in fact the most special guest, my dear mother. Say hello to my mother, everybody.
Hi everybody.
So you may remember we did a video with my mum before when we did the kind of Q&A where you guys could ask her questions. So this time mum has come back because she heard that I was doing a video series about languages. And you know an insane amount of languages. So let's start. How many languages do you know?
Well, I do English,
Obviously.
Spanish, Chinese, list three dialects of Chinese.
So Mandarin, Cantonese, Hokkien. And then...
I could probably swear in half a dozen more.
See, this is the thing, everyone's commenting that my language series is becoming less of a let's teach Kim how to speak whatever and more like let's teach Kim how to swear in lots of different languages. So maybe we can go over that.
And in the past, my past career, I did work as a midwife and a nurse in Abu Dhabi. So I could probably, speak a few medical terms in Arabic.
Well, yeah, you used to be able to deliver a baby in Arabic, didn't
That's
you?
right. And in Norway, we had to go to the shops and so you could speak a few bits and pieces of Norwegian.
I got taught Norwegian in an earlier video.
There you go.
Don't remember a lot of it though. And a lot of it was naughty words that I can't dare to say in front of my mother.
Oh, don't forget, I speak the national language of Malaysia, which is Bahasa.
Bahasa as well. So English, Spanish, Bahasa, Mandarin, Cantonese, Hokkien, various other bits.
Yeah, a bit of French.
So probably about 6 fluently and loads more bits and pieces of.
That's right.
Insane. Absolutely insane. So when you grew up in Penang, what were you taught? What did you speak at home?
Well, at home we spoke Hokkien because we are Hokkien people, but the whole neighborhood, which involves 3 streets, we had Shanghainese, Cantonese, Teochew people, Hakka people. In fact, it's like a national, all the people from China.
And so
we picked up the languages.
Yeah. But when was it that you learned English? Because you speak English fluently.
English is when we went to school.
Yeah.
I did all my entire education. Was in a convent in Penang.
Sure you wouldn't guess.
Taught by the Irish nuns.
Irish nun. So Irish English as well. Did they have a very strong accent? Do you remember?
Yeah, a few
Irish
of them.
accent, yeah.
Cute. It was quite fun actually. And as I said, it's just we all brought up automatically absorbing different languages, and there was no problem at all in understanding each other. So
today we're going to try and do Hokkien.
Yes.
But we're probably going to derail and speak a lot of other languages as well. So the basic way we've been doing this is starting with the basic phrases like hi, how are you, my name is, that kind of thing. Talking a little bit about what Hokkien is, because I don't think a lot of people will know what Hokkien is, because when people say Chinese, they immediately think Mandarin or Cantonese. And then, so should we start with what is Hokkien?
Hokkien is a province, well, it's the southern part of China. It's where my family comes from. It's called Nan'an or Nanhua. Majority of people there obviously speak Hokkien. And that's where my grandfather came from, that part of the world, to Penang. And it's a very complicated family history, which is
a whole other video in itself.
One day Kimberly will write my story.
Your autobiography.
Yes, it's very complicated. So then a lot of people, a lot of Hokkien people came to Penang, where they then brought culture over. However, in Penang, some of the men did marry the local wives. Chinese who were brought up straight-born Chinese. So the Hokkien in Penang is very, very different from the rest of the world. We have a mixture of probably Malay and what we call the Nonyas and Babas language. So we will not speak one whole language in pure Hokkien. It was always a mixture.
Yeah, because I've definitely found it quite, because every time I say, come on mom, you've got to teach me Hokkien, like properly, like how to read and write and stuff like that. And it's very difficult because it's almost to me like a pidgin language. Like, especially the Penang dialect, it's kind of like, bits and pieces of everything. There's no really formal grammatical structure. And there's no formal books on how to learn how to read and write. And certainly, I mean, one thing you'll notice from the subtitles in this video is different people spell things differently. No two people seem to be able to agree on how to spell things like char kway teow and Hokkien mee, which is where I get all of my education, is from the food and the streets. But I notice like every time people spell things very differently.
It's more a phonetic language.
Yeah.
You just spell as you hear.
As you hear it. Okay, so let's get started. So how would you say like, hi, how are you?
Hi. How are you in Hokkien we say lu hobo. But we in Penang, Chinese especially, when we greet you, that's not what we say. We will just say, "Jia ba boy, have you eaten?" Very important food, culture. So it's always "Jia ba boy."
Jia ba boy. Yeah.
Jia ba means are you full? Have you eaten? Aboy already or something.
That's what I thought. I recognized the Japui. Japui is like
eat rice.
You eat rice, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the most important. See, I recognize the important words, which is makan. You wanna makan.
Makan is a Malay word for eat.
Yeah, you wanna makan. Japa boy.
Japa boy.
Okay, so say hi, Japa boy.
Japa liao. Lu le?
Lu can.
You say jia what japa boy now? Aboy jia go. Aboy jia. That means I've not eaten.
Aboy jia.
Aboy jia go.
Well, it's because the thing is, now this is the other thing that's a little bit complicated about doing Penang Hokkien, is that the way Malaysian, especially Penangites, speak to each other is very fun. And for me, it's a mixture of several different languages. And there are other videos that I've seen on YouTube that break this down very well, I think, where they say a sentence and they're like, oh, this bit is the Hokkien bit, this bit is the English bit, this bit is the Malay bit, this bit is the Chinese bit. And so it's like, when we have a conversation, it's not purely in one dialect. It will be a mixture of like, oh, Japa, you want a makana? Oh, can. Can. Yeah, and I feel like you can get around with a whole mixture of bits and pieces. So if we're going to talk about food, which is very important, how about where do you want to eat?
Ki ta lo wi jia. Ki means go. Ta lo means anywhere to eat. Jia. Ki ta lo wi jia.
Kita lo wi jia. Kita lo wi jia. So where do you want to go? So I'm like, hawker store. Like, let's go to a hawker store.
Then in that case, we will always say Dai Pai Tong. Dai Pai Tong is Cantonese. Hawker food.
Dai Pai Tong.
Dai Pai Tong.
Dai Pai Tong.
That is Cantonese, means hawker store.
Do you see what I mean? The mixture. It's such a mixture. But then also I would probably just be like straight up and just be like, Hokkien mee or Penang laksa, just say the dish.
If you say the dish of what you want, then we know where to go. Because we don't just go to one specific place for everything.
Yeah.
Well, they do the night hawker store, but if you want some special dish where it's the best, then you will go to a certain part of the island.
And it's all about getting the best. You always got to go to the best. Because I always love that every time I go back to Penang and I say to him, Mom, I want to go eat well, I call that guy Uncle Curry Me. Because you call everyone uncle or auntie, and this guy runs this hawker store that sells curry mee, so I always say Uncle Curry Me. But then one time he was the best curry mee guy ever, and then the next time I go back she's like, Galia, no good.
No good, because they, with cost and all that, they cut cost. The ingredients are not as good. So curry mee has always been somewhere else, which is excellent.
So how do you say, so these are the important things. So we're going to go back to the food again. So things like, it's really good, like tastes good. Like
Ho jia.
Ho jia. So which one is ho liao?
Ho liao is good. If you do something, or somebody give you something and you say, wow, ho liao is good quality. Whereas good liao is quality, and then ho jia is to eat.
It's good food. Okay, so if I was to talk about your food, I'll be like, oh, my mom's food is ho jia. Like, so how would I say my?
But you can also say ho liao.
Yeah.
This is quality, is good as well, and ho jia is the taste. What we brought up in it. It's osmosis.
Yeah. And then of course I know the other things, the other important words like bump wee.
No. We don't speak that in
Toilet talk.
Toilet talk. Although when Kim was little and instead of doing the number 1, number 2, I used to teach her in Hokkien. So when in public, she would tell me when she wants to go to a toilet in Hokkien, so nobody else would be wiser. I don't know if you still remember that.
Well, is bang bui is number 2.
No, hungry is
No.
flatulate.
Oh, bang bui is to fart. Okay. Pang jiu is
Pangjiu
to go
is
wee wee. And what's number 2?
Bang sai.
Bang sai. Bang sai la.
Bang is to
Bang.
discard.
That's the thing is
Bang is to discard.
I always like that word because I find like it's quite onomatopoeic. So it sounds like bang, like, you know,
Bang.
like you're doing a like bang. Or when you do a bang bui, I think the bui makes it sound
How
like
do you get from food to the bodily functions?
Look, Penangites, there are several things that they talk about. 1 is food, 2 is coffee, 3 is bodily functions.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna notice this whenever we go home. Like, it's all everyone talk about. Okay, so let's move on to if you wanna, well, you probably know a lot. If you're telling me off, because you're always telling me off.
No.
Yeah. Oh no.
You're such a lovely girl.
Oh wow. I'm surprised the ceiling did not crack open.
Your father has just fixed it.
Okay. So yeah, well, I know the words that you're gonna say, like when you're telling me, when I'm winding you up and you're telling me off. So like, well, I think we should probably teach everyone the most important phrase ever, and it's
Bo lo yong.
Bo lo yong ah.
Bo lo yong is literally means you useless.
Yeah, which I hear mum say to my dad a lot. Bo lo yong ah. Bo lo. And also probably the other one is ayo.
Ayo. It's just an expression. Ayo.
Yeah, there is an ayo doesn't have a direct translation because it. But this is one of the things. It's such a.
It's just an expression of frustration. Ayo.
Yeah, like ayo, you're so loud, ah. Ayo, you smell. Have a shower. Ayo, traffic is so bad. Like that. But then it's very good to put together with ayo, luar bolak yong ah. Or as Dad says it, bolak yong, because he refuses to learn how to say.
He doesn't refuse, but he just hasn't got the tongue or the ear for languages.
I think he just likes
Not
winding
like
you
you
up
and
though.
me.
I think he likes winding you. I think he does know. He just likes being very English about it. Bolak yong.
Oh, that's how it goes. isn't it?
Bolak yong ah.
And then the other one, die si.
Dai si ah.
You know die.
Dai.
Die si.
Die si.
After you make a mistake, you always say, "Look, don't you die si liao." Now you know how to die.
I haven't heard that one used in a while actually.
Well, you haven't, you know,
Done anything bad.
been up to any mischief.
So when would you deploy that? Is it like when someone's just being a bit annoying or?
Well, when they do something that they're not supposed to do and they have an accident or they hurt themselves, then we say 在戏.
So is it kind of like a I told you so, like oh
No,
see.
now you have learned.
Oh, you've learned. Okay.
See means die, see?
So now you're like
Die, no die. Know how to die. Now you know how to die.
在戏了.
So next time you won't repeat the mistake.
I think the other thing to pick up about Hokkien is that people put la at the end or,
Yeah.
or ma.
La or ma or.
I think why Hokkien is one of my favorite languages to try and listen, well, just to listen to, like whenever you get your Malaysian friends over and family over, is because I find it very expressive and very fun to just talk, because everything is ayola, or like, you know, it's all like, I always love bola, and then
Bo
just
means
put the,
no la.
yeah, I'm putting the las and the mas. So la doesn't really mean anything, does it? It's just a kind of, you want to put an emphasis on it, like, you know. I find it very good to be overly dramatic and like,
Yeah.
don't want la. See, she knows that one. Sime.
Sime.
Don't want
Yes,
la.
ma'am.
So what is sime?
Yes, me.
Yes la.
Sime.
Sime.
Like you tell me something.
Mm.
Oh, so and so just be down, you know, going out with so and so, and I will say, Sime.
Oh my god.
Yes,
Ooh.
yes,
Gossip ah. So if you were to say, well, you wanted to talk about ma a bit, like
yes, the
tones.
different tones. For example, in Hokkien, when you call your mother is amma. Then when you call your grandmother on your father's side that's your paternal grandmother, is ama. So it's ama, ama. In Cantonese, if you call your mother, it's ama, and you call your grandmother, ama. So that's
So you are my ama.
ama.
And then my grandmother is ama. So on the note of relatives, something that I thought would be really interesting to talk about, because it's something that interests and both bothers me because it messes with my head, is that in Chinese and in Hokkien, you have different ways of referring to relatives depending on who you are and where their standing is in relation to you. So take it away, explain to them.
Right. Starting on the father's side, we will, for example, my father's brothers, depending whether they are older or younger. If it's my father's older brother, I will call a pet. If it's my father's younger brother, I will call a zig.
And so the term that you use is dependent on it, whether it's the father's side or the mother's side.
The mother's side will be, if it's my mother's brother, I will call a gu. If it's my mother's sister, I will be a yi.
And so, but the whole idea is that if I was an outsider listening to you referring to a family member,
You will know straight away which side of the family and which status they are in.
what relationship. So, for example, I am your daughter.
Yeah, I think so. Last time I checked.
And so you have 5 brothers.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 brothers and,
And 2 sisters.
2 sisters. So I call the sisters Ai, which is your younger.
And then my older sister you will call Dua Yi,
Tuai.
because she's older than me.
Okay. And so the similar word there is I, the I, to
Means
denote
auntie.
that it's a female, like auntie.
Normally, my younger sister you will call Sehan Yi. It means the youngest auntie.
Okay.
Sehan means small.
Seihan. But Ai is easier.
Ai is
Ai
easier.
is easier. And then, so your uncle, no, my uncles, your brothers, is tiger uncle, that throws off.
Tiger.
Tuaku,
Yeah. That's number 1 uncle.
Tiku,
Second uncle.
Saku, Siku, Goku.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, if I had a brother, how would he refer to them?
The same way.
The same way?
Yes.
Okay, so if I was referring to dads, if dad had 5 brothers and 2 sisters, how would I refer to them?
My father's older brothers you will
Yeah.
call Bek.
Bek.
And depending on which number in the family.
Yeah.
We use numbers for the immediate family. So it's the first uncle, second uncle, third uncle, or first brother, second. So if it's Dua Bek, my father was the second.
Yeah.
And then after that, the younger brothers, you will call Sa Zik,
Yeah.
Si Zik, Go Zik. Zik means younger brother of my father.
I've just had a complete massive revelation. So basically when I've been calling your brothers, all this here, Tuaku, Saku, Siku, Goku, that's all numbers.
Yes, the numbers.
And the ku is the
Uncle.
uncle.
On the mother's side.
I'm literally calling my uncles number 1 uncle, number 2 uncle,
Yes.
number 3 uncle.
You mean you have realized that?
How old are you?
With us Chinese, when we call certain relatives in certain ways, we know straight away whether they're on the mother's side or the father's side and which generation they are from.
Yeah.
And we don't do things like first cousins, second cousins,
Yeah.
third cousins.
I think that's always fascinating, but it really sometimes wreaks havoc with my brain. Whenever we meet our extended family, like we're going to in Chinese New Year, and you're trying to say, oh, this is your great aunt on this side who's married
No, I will show you the certain words, then you know straight away which side of the family they're from.
That's the
And
theory.
it's very easy,
That's the theory.
honestly.
That's the
Rather
theory.
than first cousins, second cousins, third cousins, which I still don't understand anyway. In spite of all these years in England.
So you mentioned the different tones there in Hokkien. So, I mean, because speaking Mandarin, there are 4 tones in Mandarin, which is the
Ma, 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 ma.
which is the,
Ma means mother.
and that's a flat tone like that.
Ma is
Down
num.
Down to up, isn't it?
Ma
And
is a
then-
horse.
Yeah.
Ma is to tell you off.
Yeah.
So it's ma, 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 ma.
Mandarin in 2 seconds. So does Hokkien have
Not as such, because we tend to use other words in to emphasize.
Because again, like when I was trying to find formal books on how to speak Mandarin, Hokkien, they didn't seem to have anything about tones and things like that. So it's really hard to learn this language, Mom.
Actually, the other country where they speak Hokkien most of the time, although it's a different Hokkien from Malaysian, is in Taiwan.
Oh.
So whenever I go back to Malaysia, I will watch Taiwan soap operas. I love the language.
They're crap.
They are more formal. What is crap? The language?
The soap opera.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's always about killing, you know, gangsters, high finance, corruption. It's fun.
Yeah.
But I like the Hokkien because it's a more formalized language.
So if I was to try and learn Taiwanese Hokkien, would I be able to come back to Penang and speak it?
Yes.
Yeah, because...
Yes, although certain words you use, the Penang people might not understand.
Okay.
So in Hokkien, 1 to 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And then in Mandarin is
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, and then 6, isn't it?
6, yeah. And then Cantonese is 1, 2, 3, 4.
I was going to do Japanese, but it's completely gone out of my head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I think with all those languages, you can hear the similarity between them. So if you go through them again, Hokkien, Mandarin, Cantonese, I think you can hear like the similarity between them. So it's like, what was Hokkien again?
1, 2,
2,
3,
4,
4.
5. And then Mandarin is
1,
2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2, 3,
3,
4,
4.
4. So it's always the three. There's some in I think all three dialects, pretty much. Pretty much, if you're a bit fuzzy with the details. And that's something that fascinates me, is just with Chinese, you can hear, I guess, like the further you get out from the core, like of China, the mainland China, and the further you spread out to Penang, to Taiwan, to the outer lane reaches, you can hear how the language has evolved and changed and absorbed other languages. Because like you say,
you bring,
well, because like you say,
pick up the local dialects.
Yeah, because Hokkien
merge into them.
And Hokkien mixes like Malay and stuff like that with it. Like, because I was in Thailand recently, and I was saying to you, I just couldn't hear the similarity to any other Southeast Asian language, because they're based in Sanskrit, and I've never really learned a Sanskrit language before. So that's probably the anomaly. I feel like that was something I found very difficult to pick up, apart from the Swatika, which is
Swatika.
Swatika. And then you have to do that flat tone, don't you?
Swatika.
Swatika. Yeah, which I think is quite an anomaly to the Chinese dialects, I think.
Yes, probably.
Probably find it.
And they have got a more sing-song
delivery.
Yes.
Yeah. So thanks very much, Mum, for joining us, for educating us, for letting us know a little bit of insight and history into Hokkien, into Penang, into your family, and just generally like I said, I think Hokkien is one of my favourite languages to listen to and to speak, because it's just so much fun. Like, it's very teasing, it's very expressive, it's very silly. But yeah, so thank you very much for joining me, and for
it's been fun here as well, and bringing you a little bit of what we speak at home. And I'll see you some other time then. Bye.
Yeah, maybe. Bye. Oh wait, how do we say bye in Hokkien?
Bye. Or in Mandarin, I will say 再见.
再见. 再见.
To see you again.
To see you again. We'll meet again. Oh please.
Even before my time.